Curious to know where everyone is moving to in Georgia? This video is for you. Real estate is hot in North Georgia right now and people are knocking down doors to get here. So where is everyone moving to? Hi, I'm Sarah Maslowski with KeyPoint Homes Group, a local real estate agent right here helping clients from all over the country relocate here to Georgia. As an expert in helping people relocate to the area, there are a handful of towns I have heard from my personal clients over and over and over these past few months. Recently, I've helped clients in every single one of these areas, and we're going to talk about them. We've been in multiple offer situations in all of these different towns, so we're going to talk about what that is like if you were thinking about making a move here. With all of the pent-up demand, especially in these highly sought-after towns and extremely low inventory, we are running into some major competition. So what makes these towns so desirable, and why are people so desperate to buy homes in these towns? First on the list is my personal hometown, Gainesville. The city of Gainesville was recently listed on Southern Living's The South's Best Cities on the Rise, and it has been exceptionally popular here recently. In fact, almost a third of my clients so far this year have chosen to make Gainesville their home. There's actually quite a bit of new construction going up in Gainesville currently, and that is drawing in a lot of buyers at the moment, since new construction is becoming harder and harder to come by in well-developed areas. Of course, another reason people are moving to Gainesville is Lake Lanier. Especially as we draw closer to the summer, more and more people gravitate to the idea of a lake house. I recently helped some clients go under contract on a beautiful house on the lake with a community dock and a dedicated boat slip. It's a smaller neighborhood with just a handful of homes, making it very private while still having the luxury of a personal dock. The home was on the market for about 2 weeks before we went under contract on it, but on the same day that we made our offer, the sellers also received an offer from some other out-of-state buyers. Well, fast forward to a few days into our contract, we got it. I got a call from another local agent who had buyers that were very interested in the house that my buyers were under contract on, and they wanted to essentially buy us out of our contract. I have never had this happen before. They were offering the buyer and the seller money for us to walk away from this contract. It was certainly a bizarre request and just something I had never heard of. Now, obviously my buyers love this home too, which is why they are buying it, and the sellers kept our contract. We didn't take them up on their offer because it was such a great house. But I was just shocked at how motivated these people were who were coming in and trying to essentially bribe us as buyers and the seller out of the contract in order to let them have the house instead. Even though the house had been on the market for a few weeks before we went under contract, it's like all at once there are several people who are very interested in buying it. But luckily, we secured the contract. I recently told this story on a live stream, and by the way, if you're not checking that out, make sure you tune in, like and subscribe to the channel so that you get notified every time we go live, which is the first and third Wednesday of every single month. But we discussed some of the other wild things that have been recently going on here in the real estate world. So again, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so that you get notified. Now, all of this is to say, people have very high motivation to be in Gainesville, especially such a great find for a newer built home on the lake within a community with a dock. Now, homes on the lake in Gainesville are great because you still have access to Gainesville's charming downtown area and plenty of big box stores and great restaurants. The downtown area here is full of local restaurants, shops, breweries, and it feels like they're opening up a new restaurant like every other week. It's a place that people from surrounding towns will drive over to on a Friday night for dinner and have drinks, come over here on the weekend and hang out on the square. It is just a beautiful place. Gainesville is one of only a handful of towns here with a true downtown area, and it has gone through a recent revitalization in the last few years. One of the great things about Gainesville is the good mix of old and new. You can find resale homes in older, more established areas, and you can also find new construction options we talked about earlier as well. Gainesville is definitely one of the most affordable options we're going to talk about today, and it currently has an average sales price of $464,000 in March of 2024. You know, of course, you're looking on the lake, and that's going to be an entirely different story. The minimum threshold to find a home on the lake these days seems to start right around the $1 million mark. If you're interested in learning more about buying a home on Lake Lanier, you have to check out this great video. Another great town that needs to be on your radar, and it's on everyone else's radar, is Cumming, Georgia. In the past few years, Cumming has seen an absolute explosion of growth and has become one of the most desired areas here in the North Metro. Alpharetta is at max capacity, which sits just south of Cumming, so all of that development and growth is now shifting north, which puts it right square there in Cumming. I think anyone here in the North Metro would tell you that they wish they would have bought property in Alpharetta 10 years ago, because the return you would see on that investment would be absolutely insane. This same phenomenon is happening right now in Cumming, and demand to be in this area is through the roof. The great thing about this is that there are plenty of new construction housing options, but they are definitely selling for a premium. Cumming has plenty of big box stores and chain restaurants, and it also has a cute downtown area, although it's not as big as what you would find in Gainesville. They have also just completed a new city center, which has kind of taken over as the downtown. Lake Lanier also runs through parts of Cumming, and the north end of Cumming has great views of the North Georgia mountains and feels a lot less like a metropolis compared to the south end of Cumming. Now, the town covers quite a bit of ground, which is why the north end and the south end feel very different from one another. New construction here is going to be more expensive than it is in Gainesville, but there is a lot of undeveloped land here, so there's plenty of opportunities for builders to build these new construction homes. And you're going to find most of the new construction kind of geared towards the north end of Cumming, which is where there's so much undeveloped land. This anticipation of development and the idea that the town will be the next hot spot, or it is the hot spot, it's created a large interest in the area, coupled with the fact that there are great schools in Cumming. Well, you can see why so many people want to be here. There are many highly ranked schools at every age level in Cumming, which means pretty much that anywhere you live in Cumming, you are going to be districted for a very highly rated schools. And we all know what a big priority schools are for families with school-age children. Now, another reason people are moving to Cumming, Costco. Who knew bulk shopping was so important to so many? But it's honestly one of the priorities I hear time after time from private clients that I help make the move here to the area. Currently, the average sales price of a home in Cumming is $661,000. So it's going to cost you to be in the next up-and-coming town. Get it? That joke never gets old. All right, so I just touched on it, and it's most likely not a surprise to anyone who has been researching the best place to live in the Northeast Metro Atlanta area. But the next on the list is our golden child, Alpharetta. It is constantly topping the charts for best places to live in Georgia, and no surprise, it also made Southern Living's list of the South's best city on the rise for 2024. Part of the big appeal to Alpharetta is its convenient location. You're only 26 miles north of downtown Atlanta, which makes it really ideal for people who want to live in the suburbs while needing to commute into the city for work. You can jump right on Georgia 400 and drive straight down to Atlanta if you work in the city or you need to get to the airport. Now, you need to know though, Alpharetta has plenty of companies and industries that are based right there in the Alpharetta area, so you might not even need to commute anywhere. It has become quite the hub for many tech-based jobs, and we have many clients whose companies are headquartered here. Alpharetta is the perfect mix between city and suburban life, with tons of devoted acres of walking trails, playgrounds, award-winning parks, and outdoor facilities. If you are someone who prioritizes being outdoors, you're gonna love Alpharetta. One thing I personally love about Alpharetta is that the town has 250 shops within a 5-mile radius, and get this, more than 200 dining options as well, meaning there's no shortage of yummy meals or good shopping. I was just at a closing today with some clients who made the move to Alpharetta, and that was one of the things that they said that they were amazed by, was the amount of restaurants and the variety of food and cuisine that they have here in Alpharetta just at their fingertips. Now, Alpharetta is also home to great schools as well, meaning it's got just about everything most could ask for in a suburban developed town. No matter what is happening in the real estate world, there is always high interest and demand for being in Alpharetta, and meaning that, even when interest rates are at their highest, there are bidding wars everywhere you look. And these days, you can hardly find a home here for less than $500,000. In fact, the average sales price in Alpharetta in March was $844,000. Just like anything with a good reputation, it has that allure and appeal, and you're certainly going to pay a premium for it. Now, the last town that we have seen a large influx of clients moving to is Suwanee for its great location, and you guessed it, once again, highly ranked schools. When someone reaches out and wants to be in a developed town with lots of great amenities and schools are a top priority, then Suwanee is going to be on my list of recommendations, much like Cumming. Now, Suwanee is already pretty much entirely developed, so it's not going to go through the same changes that Cumming is currently going through. One of Suwanee's biggest attractions is their top-rated schools that feature many different programs for students at all levels. You've got really amazing gifted programs. They even have an accelerated program for math and science, specific programs for children with special needs at the autism program at Level Creek and North Gwinnett schools, and the list goes on and on. You'll always want to do your own research when it comes to finding the best schools for your child, but Gwinnett, which is the county that Suwanee is located in, has a lot of great options to choose from. Now, because of these great schools, many families with younger children are drawn to the area. Plus, Gwinnett County has so many amazing parks, walking trails, and it really just caters to people who like to spend time outside, despite living in a highly developed area. Now, like every town I've talked about today, I've had buyers in multiple offer situations in Suwanee recently. It's full of family-friendly neighborhoods, townhome communities, luxury communities, and everything in between. You don't have as much access to all of the shopping and restaurants that you're going to find in Alpharetta, but both of these towns have a similar feel. But Suwanee is going to come with a more comfortable average price point of $695,000. I think you're going to notice a running theme here, and that is competition is high in these great towns. However, North Georgia is full of other plenty amazing towns, and there are so many other places you should consider. Would you be interested in seeing a video of some of the hidden gem towns here in North Georgia? Let me know in the comments below. If you're thinking about making a move here to Georgia, I want to be your real estate agent. You can reach me by clicking the link in my pinned comment below. In the meantime, make sure you check out these videos to learn about more towns that you should consider.